Okay folks, this is a short video on how to get this support for the HAA wagon to print properly. So I'm assuming you've loaded up the model in Fusion, you've exported this support as is, as an STL, so for 3D printing, and now I've just pulled it into Bamboo Studio. So here we can see it in Bamboo Studio as you'd see yourself. If we look here across on the left, on the speed, I've reduced a lot of the speeds by half. And makes it more reliable for fine printing. If we go across to support, I've set the support to enable supports and chose the option tree manual. And that's the key thing on this, is the auto ones, because it's quite fine, tend to be very difficult to remove. So we're going to do some manual trees, and the style we're going to go for tree slim, quite fine ones. Okay, and then if we go into others, on bed adhesion, Brim type painted, and we'll come to that in a minute as well. So that's the settings. I've got this set up at 0.1. You can probably run it at 0.06, but let's really here talk about the supports. So first thing we do, click on the model to highlight it, and then you get more options up the top here. And the first one is we're going to go for Brim ears. Some of you may have used this, some may not. We're going to go for head diameter 5 millimeters. So let's have a look at that. And what we're going to do, rather than auto generate, I'm going to paint these on myself manually. So if we hover over these and hover in the it doesn't show it unless you're in where the model touches the bread. So I'm going to put one there, one there, one there. And what this does is when it prints, it puts a one layer thick circle before it starts printing the model itself, and that gives us much better adhesion for these very fine bits, which are actually at an angle. If you look at the side, they're at an angle, and they'll tend to break off, fly off, or whatever, unless you put those on. Okay, so that's the ears we've put on to help on in terms of support. The next thing we're going to do is paint on our own supports. So I've clicked on this painted one and it chooses a pen size. I'm going to go for quite small pen size. I think I'll run it with, let's try 1. We'll see what it looks like. Yeah, maybe a bit smaller than that. 0.4 is the smallest. Maybe a bit bigger than that. I can't remember. Actually, if I go in here and type 0.7, I think that's what it was. 7. Okay, and here this is supports, because we've got big overhangs here. So the printer's going to try going around. You can't even think of possibly going around a corner. It's just going to droop the plastic. So if we put a support in there near that corner but not on it, there near that corner but not on it, halfway between these two, halfway between those two, again not on it, not on it, go around the other side, do the same thing, just a mirror on this side. Be quite nice if we did a mirror option, but it doesn't. These don't have to be too critical, and we'll see what happens when we slice this. Okay, going round, round, round. Okay, that all looks good. So if you click on that icon again, that turns it off, or at least hides it. And then if we then slice the plate, you can see here it's now put supports in where I've told it to put supports in. And that might be useful for you guys that run some of the Cults models or something like that, which have got big overhangs, where Some of the ports are automatically generated supports are written over the top. Here you can choose where they appear, and so it's much better. Or because you're rather than using the AI or whatever it is, computer generated supports, you're choosing where to put them, and that then will print well. These middle ones will fall off quite easily. These end ones are critical. This one comes off easily, but this one is spreads into this foot here. So when you take it off the print bed, you have to be very careful taking it off in the first place, but also you have to trim off the end here. Otherwise, it tends to rip this leg off. But that's the way I found best to print the supports, and they come out really nicely if you do that. Okay, and that's about it for my video. Okay, cheers.